it's okay to buy it. So it's not about depriving ourselves, but it's about setting up rules so we do not buy the wrong things and we do not spend more money than we have. Hello guys and welcome back on my channel. Today I want to do an intentional haul where I show you what I've bought in July and August of 2022. I pre-record videos on my channel, as you probably already know, so this is a pre-recorded video. I just want to say, usually I don't buy this much clothing. Usually there goes a lot of months where I don't buy anything, and that's simply because I save up money to be able to afford what I need. This is not what I typically am able to buy each month. This is what I'm able to buy when I've saved up for a lot of months. When we are talking about an intentional haul, it's all about, for me, buying things I need and buying things I know I'm going to wear. And sometimes I mess up and I buy things for my fantasy self, so who I want to be, what I think I will look good in, but not what I'm actually going to wear. And I make mistakes as well, but I try not to make them. But I'm going to be honest with you when I make them, of course. But it's all about, buying with intention, buying things that we actually need, buying things that we actually will love, buying things that we actually will wear. So it's about bringing intentionality into what we buy. That is the perspective in which I'm going to film this video. I'm going to film it in a perspective with intentionality. I have two big themes on my channel that I talk mostly about, and that is living an intentional life and being child-free by choice. And then I also talk about the topics with which I find interesting. So that is what I'm doing on this channel. And if you can hear some background noises, it's probably coming from outside or from my guinea pigs. They're really lovely creatures, really love them. But yeah, I'm just going to go right into the video, and I'm going to be talking about the items and then showing you me having them on. Let's start with something I really don't buy that often, and that is jewelry. I really don't buy jewelry all that often, but I have bought 2 pair of earrings. I'm the kind of person who usually don't spend money on myself, and I have become better with spending money on myself. But it's all about finding a balance where you don't spend like too much money on yourself and you don't spend too little money on yourself. It's finding that middle ground, finding that balance, and sometimes we all mess up, but usually what I buy is with my savings. So I never buy anything that I can't afford, and that's really the important thing. So I bought 2 pairs of earrings, and they are of course pure silver because I don't want anything that it's not real. Because I don't want to get allergic, and I don't want jewelry that easily gets miscolored or easily breaks or something like that. So I want jewelry that is going to last. That's also why I've bought a silver cleaning product. A silver cleaning product so I can keep my silver earrings nice and clean. And I also have this engagement ring, and I also keep that clean with this. So what you need to clean with depends on what kind of jewelry you have. So you should really ask your jewelry shop what you should clean your jewelry with. I have these kinds of earrings in right now. Because it's black and because it's white, you're not supposed to dip these parts into the silver cleaning liquid, because then it might get ruined. So it's really important that you find the right cleaning product depending on what kind of jewelry you have. And I'm new to this, so I can't really advise you on what to do. You should just ask your local jewelry shop what you do with the jewelry you have, and it's gonna differ from what kind of jewelry you have. I just want to have jewelry that lasts and I'm not going to get an allergic reaction to. So I just have jewelry that is pure silver. I don't like jewelry that's just coated in silver because they don't last long. So it's really important for me that it is pure silver. And I have bought these because next month I'm getting pierced. I'm getting my nose pierced and I'm getting 2 earrings long here. And I don't have enough pure silver jewelry right now. So I just wanted to buy so I had enough so I can have pure silver jewelry in all of my piercings. So that was actually something I needed. I don't have enough so I can change to different earrings yet, but I'm going to buy enough in the future so I have enough to both have in my ears, in my piercings, but also so that I have one at least for each hole to change with. So I have 1 pair I have on and 1 that I can change with. So that's what I want to do in the future. But again, jewelry isn't cheap, so again that's something I have to save up for. I usually buy the cheaper earrings just because I can't afford the earrings that cost a lot. I think that are quite cheap because that's what I can afford. If it's from ASOS or Zalando or something, you're probably not buying something that is pure silver. You're just buying something that's silver coated, and that is simply not going to last very long. So go to a real jewelry shop and go to a shop where the jewelry has that little number on it, indicates that it's pure silver. In my country it's 925, that is the number that shows you that it's pure silver, but I don't know if it's the same thing around the world, so you probably have to check that up with the country you live in, if it's the same or if it differs. But I'm going to go into the other stuff that I have bought. So this is just a really cheap bag that I have bought. I've bought this because I have 2 bags right now, 2 purses you could say, that you can carry over the shoulder. I have 2 of them. I have one where I can just have my phone and wallet in, one that's a little bigger where I can have a little more stuff in. I just wanted to show you the bags that I already have, just so you know what I'm talking about. So these I bought a long time ago. This isn't a part of the haul, but it's just so I can explain why I've bought this one, or why I've bought this bag that I have bought. So firstly I have this one. So this is just big enough to have a really tiny water bottle in, and my phone, and nothing more, and maybe my wallet. But you can't have very much in it, but it's really, there's a lot of space, and yeah, it's broken here because I've used it for a long time. But yeah, it has a lot of pockets where you can hide things, and it's real litter. Just when I want to have my phone and wallet with me, and maybe a small water bottle. Because as you probably know, the pockets in female clothing are just never big enough if you have a big phone. So that really sucks. So that's why I have this one, just to simply carry my phone, because my pockets aren't big enough. And if I don't have that with me, I get my boyfriend to carry my phone if he's with me, because his pockets are deep enough but mine aren't. So I cannot have a phone in my pockets. But this is the other bag that I already have, and you see this a little bigger. If you have just bought a couple things, you can have it in here, and a water bottle and your phone. But it also easily gets full, and that's why we're going into why I have bought this bag. So I have bought this bag because I need something that was bigger. I needed something where I could have my computer in if I needed, or a block of paper, or something that's a little bigger. And if I wanted to go shopping and I needed a little more, it's still nice to have. So this was only 100 kronas, which is really cheap. It's from a place in Denmark called Tiger. So it's really cheap, because normally a bag like this would cost like 400 to 600 kronas or more than that even. I don't know how long this will last, but it was cheap. It's rainproof, and you really need something that is rainproof when you live in Denmark. so your things does not get wet, because Denmark just likes to rain a lot in Denmark for some reason. The weather really changes up a lot in Denmark, and mostly it's like cloudy and windy and rainy. That's just the country I live in. So I have bought this blouse, and I have simply bought it because it's a thing that I thought about buying for years, and I had the money to buy it, and it was on sale, and I thought, okay, I'm going to buy it, because intentionality doesn't mean you deprive yourself. So if it's a thing you have thought about buying for years or for like a really long time, it's alright to buy it. If you, for example, see it on sale, or if you can afford it, it's okay to buy it. So it's not about depriving ourselves, but it's about setting up rules so we do not buy the wrong things, and we do not spend more money than we have. So that is what is really important, and that's why I'm trying to underline with the hauls I make on this channel. I'm trying to show you the purpose of why I've bought it. I'm not like one of those YouTubers who just show you what I've bought and just tries it on and then goes and throws it away. I'm not that kind of person. These are things that it's actually useful for me. I'm actually gonna wear, I'm actually gonna use. So these things are intended for me. So that's why it's intentional haul. Also something I've thought about buying for a really, really long time. And I have one of these zip-up hoodies already, and I'm just using it so much when we get into the cold seasons like autumn and winter. So, and also spring can also be pretty cold. Sweaters are just generally a nice thing to have in Denmark. Then I have bought these. They're just normal pair of sports leggings, again with 2 pockets, one in the back and one here. I have bought these because I have gone up a size since I've been on some psychiatric medicine. I really had a hard time with putting on weight, and have had a really hard time with being okay with not being able to wear all of the clothing I have that sits on the lower part of me. So things like pants and skirts and all that have simply just become too small for me. So that's why I've bought a new pair of sports leggings, because they're just nice to have, just to wear as normal leggings, and to have on the few times a year where I actually do some training. I don't do that a lot, but usually I just try to walk daily, but once in a while I will train, and then it's nice to have. And when I do not train, it's just nice to have on and wear around at home. So it's just a nice thing to have, and have a pair that does not sit too tightly around me so my stomach starts hurting because that seems too tight. So it's nice to have some clothing I can actually fit again. And I think it's so important that we're not too hard on ourselves when we cannot fit clothing any longer, because I think most of us, we will put weight on in our life, and we will never just be the same size our entire life. I just think what's really important is that we're not putting on so much weight that it becomes a risk for our health. So again, everything is a balance, but just going up one size or something isn't, for most people, at the end of the world. It can be really hard for us because we feel like we aren't good enough, or we've done something wrong to put on weight, and we feel really sad that we have to let go of clothing that we actually liked, and we have to go out and find new clothing in our size. So I understand that can be really, really hard, because it's been really, really hard for me. I was almost standing there in the bedroom and crying, trying on clothing, and I was like, I can't fit it anymore. And I had the clothes on, and I could just say it was just too tight for me. So usually what I do is I have clothing on for a couple of hours, and I sit and I walk and everything in it. And is it too tight while I'm doing one or all of these things? It's just too small for me. That's a sensitive topic, but I think a lot of people can relate to that. So the last things I've bought are dresses. This dress is really nice, and it's really long. It goes over the knees, and it's loose and has pockets. Sadly not deep pockets though. I got it as a gift. I had my birthday in July, so I'm 25 years old now. It's weird that we just get older and older, and sometimes I just forget my own age. But yeah, it's just like the beginning of the new year where you kind of forget what year we have. So that was a gift. Actually, I really like it. Usually I do not like it when people buy me clothing because I'm not easy to find the right clothing for. I have a hard time just myself finding the right clothing for me. So I don't like when other people try to do it. But I was with my mother-in-law when she bought this for me. So there was no problem there. That was just a nice gift I got for my birthday. This is another dress which is on sale at H&M, and I thought this was just something I would love to wear again when we're going into the seasons that are a little colder. I saw it and I was just like, that's just the right thing for me. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about, but again I cannot know until I wear it and when the seasons gets a bit colder, but I'm a bit afraid about this collar being a bit too tight. So I might have to have the first bottom buttoned up so it doesn't sit too tightly around my neck. But again, I'll find out when I have it on. And last but not least, this is another dress I bought on sale. And I must admit, this was probably a mistake purchase. I made those too. I'm just a human being. So this is probably more for my fantasy self than it is actually for me. Because it's a flowery dress and it sits tightly. And the problem is that it falls down here. So when you have it on and you sit down, these fall down. So they fall down to like here. And it just makes me feel really exposed and I really don't like that. This was probably a mistake purchase, a fantasy self item, and we all buy fantasy self items. It's just really important that we recognize and we learn from our mistakes and that we find out, okay, what is me and what will I actually wear and what am I dreaming of wearing that I will not actually wear. So a fantasy self, that's just like a version of a self we wish we were. And when it comes to clothing, that's just clothing we wish we wore, because we see this other version of ourselves that probably think is more perfect and it's better than the version we already are. But it's so important that you are buying for who you actually are and what you actually wear, and not just what you like and what is for your fantasy self, because the things you buy from your fantasy self you will actually never wear. So I have also bought 2 pairs of shoes. One pair is a pair of sandals, and I have bought these because I really needed some sandals for the summertime, and these were really cheap. These were on sale, so I was really lucky when I bought them that I didn't have to pay as much as I thought I did. They've just been really nice to have the last couple of weeks because we have really warm weather in Denmark right now as I'm filming. We're in August and we'll have some warm weather somewhere between 25 to 32 degrees Celsius. So it's just been really nice to have sandals, because when you have shoes on, you have socks on, it just really easily gets really hot when it's hot outside, and that's really not comfortable. So they have just been really nice to have here in the summertime. And I've also bought these pair of shoes, as you can see. So I hope they are waterproof, but I've sprayed them with a waterproof solution, so they should become waterproof if they are not already waterproof. But I tried to pick out some shoes that looks waterproof. I do not have enough money to buy the shoes that they say are actually waterproof because they're just costly. So I'm looking for ones that looks waterproof, that I just spray down with a waterproof solution, so my feet hopefully do not get wet, because as I've said before, it rains a lot in Denmark. And I've bought these shoes because the other pair of shoes that I wear all the time that are waterproof, they have begun to fall apart and there's holes on the inside, and it won't be long before those holes get too big and they will be hurtful to have on. and I don't want my feet hurting when I have shoes on. That just sucks. So these I've just bought and I already wear. Yeah guys, this was definitely me buying a lot of different items. I really hope you enjoyed this haul, and what I again really try to do when I'm doing these hauls are explaining why I've bought the different items and explaining how the purchase was intentional, and also explaining when I make mistakes and when I buy things for my fantasy self and how I can learn from it. So I can learn that this is color range that I will never wear. I usually don't wear anything with flowers. I will never wear a dress where I feel like this exposed, where the sleeves go down so I'm exposed here. That is just not for me. So again, we learned something along the way. So yeah guys, I just really hope you enjoyed the video. And again, my channel, I finally found out what my channel mainly is going to be about, and it's intentionality. So living a life with intention, and it's about being child-free by choice. That is my two main themes. And then I'm also going to be talking about whatever topics I find interesting. So I really hope you like this video, really hope you subscribe. I really hope you stick around, you comment on this video, like this video, and I really hope to see you in the comment section. And thank you so much for spending your time with me and watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys!